Hey everyone, Mike Andes here, landscapebusinesscourse.com. We're gonna go ahead and jump into it. Welcome to an awesome Saturday. I'm gonna be trying to do these more often. As you can see, we're trying to get a little more creative here. We got my social handles over here. We got landscapebusinesscourse.com. Oh, you can't see the little cursor. There you go. So we're trying to get a little more creative here, make it a little bit more enjoyable to watch these and not just listen on the podcast. So we're gonna go ahead and jump in the day. I'm gonna be going over 5 things that I really recommend you focus on before the spring rush. Now, for some of you, you're literally have just started the spring rush. If you're in certain markets, you're already starting to mow. We started to mow last week, but we're gonna go ahead and talk about the 5 things I think you need to do before the spring rush. So if you have a few more weeks, you have time to do the things we're gonna talk about today. Right now, I'm not looking at your questions. I'm trying to keep them off of my screen, but I'm going to talk for the next few minutes about these different things that I think you should be doing before the spring rush, and then we're going to jump right into your questions. Now, if you're asking why I have these really cool overlays that I now have created for us all, the reason is, as I mentioned on the video earlier this week, is we are hiring not 1, but 2 more social media folks to be able to produce content for our industry. And so I'm going to be getting on all of these platforms and actually posting consistently instead of just like once in a blue moon creating a TikTok. So I'm trying to reach a younger demographic. I'm trying to get them ingrained in the business of lawn care and landscaping before they're in their 40s and their 50s and they're struggling with things, trying to give them some sort of help in that area. So we are hiring 2 more people. So to cover those costs, I am creating these banners to be able to kind of fund that operation. So let's go ahead though and jump into today's topic, which is the 5 things I think you need to do before the spring rush to get ready. Again, I know some of you are in the middle of it, but trust me, it only gets worse, which is a good thing, from here. It's only going to get busier. You're only going to get more and more estimates, more and more phone calls. It's only going to increase in scale and quantity. And so what do we need to do now? Like, even if it's this weekend, that you need to focus on things that you need to do. Number 1 is you have to, this is going to surprise some of you, that's why it's number 1, because I don't talk a whole lot about this, but that is you've got to create a plan for your physical and mental health as we head into the spring rush. If you're going to be working 12, 14-hour days in the field and then coming home and doing estimates, you need to have a plan, a schedule. You need to know what's going on when it comes to your mental health and your physical fitness. If you don't have a fitness regimen, if you're not waking up at a certain time to be able to get some time in for workouts, you need to get that stuff scheduled now. If you can get it done now, you don't have to think about it come spring rush. All the things I'm talking about today is really trying to take things off your calendar, your to-do list, off of your mental checklist, so that way when it comes to the spring rush, you can actually focus on doing work and like getting money and getting more customers. Because spring rush is the rush of spring is created by demand, the demand curve increasing. As demand goes up, your cost per click and your customer acquisition costs are going to go down. That's the time to be able to pour money and pour fuel on the fire of marketing and on growth. But if you do not have certain systems in place, like creating a plan for your mental and physical health, you're not going to be able to take advantage of the high demand and the low customer acquisition cost. You're going to like, oh no, I can't spend money on marketing. I can't hire anybody right now. Like, I'm just so overwhelmed. So create a plan now. All right. When are you going to wake up? When are you going to work out? Are you going to go to the gym? Are you going to do it at home? Do you need to get a program? Do you need to get a trainer? Do you need to invest in a trainer at a gym or online or get a Peloton bike? I don't care what that system is, but you need to have a plan for your physical and your mental health. All right. Are there going to be certain times that you require yourself to check out when you come home from work? So that way mentally you can unplug, declutter. These are things you've got to create a plan for now, because it's going to get crazy. If you've been in this industry for more than just a few years, you know how crazy the spring rush can get. You've got to create that plan for yourself now. Number 2, I should make these like, there you go. Let's go. We'll change it on every new one. So number 2 is really ready your price increase now. All right. So if you're going to do a price increase, I always recommend that you do it in the middle of the spring rush. The reason for that is because you want to do the price increase when it's hard to go out and find supply. All right. So again, we're talking about the supply demand curve. If you don't know what the supply and demand curve is, just search that, Mike Andes, and I explain it on the whiteboard. But when we talk about the supply and demand curve, as the demand increases for our services. The other thing that's also is decreasing is the supply. Like the amount of landscapers available to get more clients is decreasing. And that's usually why people increase their prices during the spring, so that they can actually, not have too much work. And so what I would recommend you do, if you know you need to increase your prices, and I would recommend that probably 95% of landscapers raise their prices. So if you know that's what you want to do, get your price letter, your price increase letter ready. Get your email ready. Have the list of the customers that you want to raise ready. Have what prices they're going to be raised to ready. Do all of that now. If you need to run reports, if you need to go back and look at clock in and clock out times, if you need to somehow figure out who's underpriced and overpriced, go for it. I talked yesterday about doing these blind price increases sometimes, and that's better than doing nothing at all. Because this is what's going to happen for so many people watching my content, is they're going to tell me, like when they know they need increased prices, guess what? They're going to tell me in June, July, you know what? I'm going to wait until winter so I can have some time, so I can run reports, figure out I'm going to increase prices, and I'll do that next year. But that is one of the most fundamental levers of the business. We talked this at conference. Price is one of the biggest levers in your business. And what people, what happens is you get so busy with the spring rush, you don't have time to run reports. You don't have time to send out the letters to the clients. You don't have time to take all the emails and the phone calls that come in after you increase the prices. So what do? You do nothing. And then what happens is the spring rush comes, you realize as you already know, you're underpriced. And then you're literally stuck because you don't have the time to go make the price increase letter, send the email out, figure out who you're going to increase the prices, what their prices need to be at. Do that now. I'm literally telling you, do that this weekend. And if you're like, oh, you know what? That's going to take me weeks to do that. You just need to increase prices blindly, like I talked about yesterday. Literally, like, okay, from 0 to 30, I'm going to raise those people all $5 per cut. Okay, from 30 to 40, I'm going to raise them $7 per cut. From, or to $50 and up, I'm going to raise $10 per cut. I would rather have you do that and talk about speed, like we talked about yesterday, and get things done, than paralysis by analysis and just trying to figure out all these reports and all the rest of it. But if that's your character, if that's your personality, is to have the reports and do all of that stuff, you better make sure you're doing that now, because you're not going to have time in the spring rush. All right, so that's number 3. That was number 2. Number 3 is hire early. This is going to be the hardest thing if you have employees in 2021, is getting employees, attracting good talent. We have seen a dramatic increase in how hard it is to find good employees this year. I can almost guarantee you, if you're paying attention right now, this whole new 1.9 stimulus package coming out of the government, that is going to make it very, very difficult to find good employees this year, especially if you're in a market where you're paying $10, $12 an hour, because if someone works 40 hours in a week, they're going to get $400 or $450. Well, guess what? Right now, if they do nothing and they sit at home playing Xbox, they're making $300 a week on unemployment. So it's going to be very difficult for your entry-level laborers this year. So if you're like, oh, yeah, we're going to get busy in a few weeks, I'm going to start hiring then. No, you need to start interviewing now. You need to start putting out ads on Craigslist and Facebook and Indeed now. If you don't, this is what's going to happen. You're going to get really, really busy. You're going to need the laborers. You're going to need more employees to be able to produce the work, but you're not going to be able to take advantage of the spring rush simply because you don't have the employees. And you're not going to have the employees because you're going to go try to find them when you need them actually out working in the field, and you're not even going to have the time to go interview them and put up ads and manage the applications and call references. So what you're going to do, you're going to hire whoever has a pulse. Whatever warm body with 2 hands can come to work, you're going to hire them, and they're going to create infinite problems for you the rest of the season. If you mismanage the spring rush, it will cause you to create poor decisions that will affect the rest of the year. So what you need to do is plan for it. Start putting up your ads now. There's no reason you can't do interviews right now and then give them a job offer for starting in 3 to 4 weeks. We've done that 3 to 4 months in advance before and gotten great talent. So the reason is, if most good employees have a current job, they're not unemployed. Most really good, grade A employees in this industry, they already have a job. They're not unemployed right now. Therefore, they have to give their 2 to 3 weeks notice anyways. So don't think like, oh, I don't really need, I'm not really there yet. I don't have quite enough work. Like I'm just going to see until I need them. No, you need to hire them now. Give them a start date out in the future. And then from a scheduling standpoint, you know that you've got to fill the schedule more given a certain start date. Okay. So I'd highly recommend that you go out and use Indeed, Craigslist, Facebook, create the ads now, set up interviews, call the references. When you have the time right now, you'll actually weed through some people because you don't really need them. You don't need them tomorrow. So you're not in a rush. When you're in a rush, you start making bad decisions. When you are pressured to get laborers tomorrow, you make bad decisions. When you're pressured to go buy a truck tomorrow, you make bad decisions. You do not want to get in a place where you start making bad decisions in your business simply because of the amount of pressure coming from customers, the amount of work coming in. That is not what you want in the spring rush. Hire now and give people a job offer starting in 3, 4, 5 weeks down the road. And if you get 2 or 3 good applicants, stagger them. Okay, we're going to have you start April 1st. You're going to start April 7th. You're going to start April 14th. Just stagger them, and then you know that the spring rush is going to pick up, and you can schedule accordingly when it comes to projects and actually putting enough budget hours on the schedule. All right, number 4. This is a great segue. Look at this. I'm going to put this up here while I talk about this one. I didn't even expect that. Finish your website and social media accounts. I've talked to so many people that they're like, oh man, this coming winter, and this is like June. This is June. Oh man, I just don't have the time to set up my website and set up my Facebook accounts. I don't have time to get pictures. I'm going to have to do that next winter. It's June. You're gonna sit around with a bad website and bad social media that has no pictures, no video, no personality. You're just selling on there, no engagement with your audience. You're gonna do that for the next 6 and 7 months, 8 months, because you don't have the time. So right now is when you need to dedicate yourself to go get some pictures, go get your website. If you need to use this, go for it. I don't care if you do or not. Go use Weebly, Squarespace. There's so many different places you can just get started. This is a premium product, okay? This is a premium product. If you want SEO and design and unlimited changes and all that stuff, go for it. But I don't care. If you're not online right now, you need to go start. You need to go do it now. If you're gonna take the next 24 hours. You're gonna lock in. I don't care if you don't have to sleep tonight. You're going to get the website done. Because in 2 to 3 weeks, 4 weeks, when the spring rush is hot and heavy, you aren't gonna think about it. You aren't gonna have time. And you shouldn't. You should be busy doing the work and actually creating revenue for your business and focusing on growth and being able to double down on getting customers when the demand is high. Get all those things taken care of now. Number 5, last one. We got to change this ever so often. Here we go. Number 5, last one. Do all your little improvements and purchases now. All right, so if you need more weed eaters, if you need more bins, if you need to get more weed whacker line, if you need to improve the efficiency of your shop layout and where things are hanging up and the flow is not good and things are on the ground, you need to organize things more. By the way, we're on our 5th one. We only have several likes on this video. Please hit the like button. We have like 80 people watching this on YouTube and Facebook. Just smash it and we'll get through this 5th one. All right, number 5. Do all your little improvements now. All the little purchases. If you need more rakes, if you need more shovels, if you need to organize things, if you need to do things on your software, if you know there's little things that you need to improve in the business, do them now because you're not going to have time. I can't stress this enough. And I just already know I'm going to have a consulting call and I'm going to try and get it to be live where the person's literally everything I say, they're like, oh, I just don't have time right now. I'm just so busy. And I'll do that next winter. That happens like all the time to me. Please don't be that person. Go figure those things out. For some of us, we're in the middle of spring rush. But if you have a spring rush, if your mowing season starts in April or mid-April or even in the next couple of weeks here in March, please go do all of these things now. Do the little improvements now. Organization, shop, all of your tools, your fertilizers, where things are kept, where you keep debris, making sure your tires are not bald. Why would you go into spring rush with bald tires? You're asking for a breakdown. Everyone asks me about used cars, used trucks, why go in them? Look, do your maintenance now. Go hire a mechanic to look at all of your trucks and make sure everything's looking good. Do it now because in the spring rush, you can't afford to have a truck go down. You can't afford to have a truck in the shop for 3 days getting fixed because a timing belt broke. All right, you've got to do that deferred, that recurring maintenance now. Get your oil changes done now. Why are you going to the spring rush with bald tires and bad brakes? You're asking for trouble. You're asking for a breakdown in the time when you need to be making money. So do all those little things in our business that is the minutia, do it now. If you need to do logos, all of that stuff, you need to get done today. All right, so those are the 5 things. I'm going to go ahead and hop over into the comment section. So let's go here, comment section. I am going to move to the top here on the comments and go ahead and go through those. I have a few minutes. Oh, I got about 15 minutes. So let me go through as many questions here as I can. Go ahead and comment. Oh, you know what? I think I got a little banner here. Yeah, post questions in the. I'm so excited about this. We're posting right now on Landscape Business Course Facebook group. We're posting on my personal Facebook page, and we're posting on YouTube at the same time. I love technology. All right, back to comments. I gotta take this down. Comments. Here we go. Welcome. Sounds great. Hey, my COVID shot. Oh, mercy. Hey, yay. It's a tough decision for me, Jeff. Hey, Ron, my trailer is still frozen to the ground. Need some spring vibes. I hope this is bringing spring vibes to you, Ron. It's coming, I promise. Every single year after winter, spring shows up. I promise. It's been a long winter. It's been cold, but spring is coming, and this is why you need to do these 5 things. There's some spring vibes for you. All right, White Pine Landscaping. Hi, Mike. We're trying to change all our maintenance customers over to full service only on a contractual basis. Do you have any thoughts on that? My thoughts behind it is we were flying by the seat of our pants before, and now with a GM in place, I need to have things in place for him to schedule as needed and can follow the contracts. Also, I see that it would add value to the company if we ever sell. Okay, good thoughts. So in terms of you're switching from per service based pricing to contractual based pricing, what you need to do is you need to sell the customer on the benefits. And you can both ways, whether you're going contractual to pay each time, or from pay each time to contractual, regardless, whether you're increasing prices, you need to focus on the benefits to the customer. So when we're raising prices, we don't say, oh, we're so sorry we're raising prices and all the rest of it. By the way, that cursor doesn't show. That's horrible. Anyways, we don't show the negatives. You want to always focus on the customer. They don't care about your business. They don't care about what you need to pay for, the cost of things going on. Look, they just care about themselves. Let's just be honest. So what you got to do is you got to pitch everything to their benefit. So why are we going from per cut prices that they've maybe had for years to contractual? Why? You want to tell them, look, we want to make it a budget-friendly option that you can depend on the same price every single month. Here's why we're doing it. Always pitch it to the customer in a really good way. Here's your dollar amount, which, by the way, last June, you paid $240. On your new 12-month contractual agreement, it's going to be $199 or whatever it is. It's going to be a lower number because you're going to have 12-month payments, right? So you always got to pitch it in the best interest of the customer. This is negotiation 101. Like whenever you're trying to negotiate with someone or convince somebody of anything, you've got to think of their best interest. When you talk to your employees about changing a system, making pay for performance, everything needs to be from their perspective. They don't care about if it's better for you. Okay. Watching from the shop. Let's go. Burdette, welcome. Okay. The spring rush is upon us. Okay. Well, Eric, I think, I definitely think it's a premium product. I mean, in terms of the website cost. But if you go out and try to find someone to do your SEO, and then we have unlimited changes you can just literally email us, and literally within 24 to 48 hours, you get stuff up, pictures, videos, change banners, time of year. If you're like, hey, I want to put this banner on the top we do all of that. There's no extra cost. We meet every single quarter in terms of SEO for every single website, etc. All right, Kylie Hoyos, great tips. Thanks for all you do for small businesses. All right, hit that thumbs up. Let's go. I'm just getting through some of these, and we'll get to actual questions probably here in a second. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that. Oh, thank you, Tony. Great. Okay, super muddy up here in Iowa, but we are getting spring cleanup clients already. Let's go, Kylie. Jerome, should I go after property management companies that have volume of work but low price, or should I go after my own customer base? Only go after high volume, low price if you're just getting started and you need momentum. That's the only time. Watch the video I did a couple days ago. about the only time I would lower my prices is to get momentum. And if you need it now, go for it. But I would do it now. And as you go into the spring rush, start getting less and less of those contracts. I would not go sign a long-term property management contract. Someone just give me $499. Let's go. Super chats on YouTube. Let's go. I would not go sign a long-term contract with a property management company where I'm locked in for the rest of the year, because in the spring rush, I want to be taking advantage of my customers that are willing to pay a premium price for my premium service. I do not want to be chasing around taking pictures for a property management company. I would not go into the trap of going for those companies that offer you money for repossessed and foreclosed houses, and they want you to take pictures. That is an absolute rabbit hole. Even if you're just getting started, I wouldn't recommend it. It's a rabbit hole. You got to take so many pictures and they won't pay you because of the insanity of them wanting the pictures from every angle of the property. So if you're just getting started, don't do it. But in terms of pricing overall, I don't mind you going lower to get momentum when you first get started. I made a video about that a couple days ago. Zachary, are you cross-posting the same ad on different platforms? Are you creating different? Okay, this is a good question. Ads need to be specific to the platform. So if I'm doing video, for example, I can, as long as I'm thinking about it in the creative process, make a video for multiple platforms. I can. Like I can think, okay, if, for example, you can't post a 2-minute video on Instagram ads. You can on Facebook, but you can't on Instagram. So I'm going to be thinking, okay, 15 seconds or less if I want to make this video for Instagram and Facebook. Okay, now I'm thinking about, okay, if I'm also going to put this on YouTube, I'm going to make sure the first 5 seconds I actually show my brand and I have some sort of a hook to keep them watching. Okay, so your creative process is going to be governed by if you're going to go across platforms using that same creative. That being said, I am not going to traditionally use the same video across all platforms or pictures, and I'm going to make sure I change it up if I am, okay? So more importantly than trying to use the same video or creative or picture on different platforms, I would focus on creating more content and seeing what's working on those platforms and then adjusting accordingly. But there's certain things that you have certain confines. Like for example, Instagram, most people are looking at pictures more than if you go to say, obviously YouTube, but like Facebook, video is usually going to do better. So there's certain platforms that do better with certain types of creative based upon the demographic, what type of people are on that platform, as well as just the physical constraints that platform puts on you in terms of media. Like I said, 15 seconds or less you want to have if you're doing Instagram. You know, you can do long form video if you're doing Facebook, but you better make sure you keep their attention or else they're just going to scroll on, right? All right, Mike Eisenhart. Thinking about pulling the trigger on SendGym. With a small office, I feel the cost would be worth it and we would actually get postcards out. What are your thoughts on this type of software that integrates with CRM? I like it. We have tested this and not seen it perform as well against digital. However, I'm not against it because you can automate SendGym, and I do like that fact. However, again, I'm comparing it against the cost. Let's say I've spent $1 per door hanger. Let's say I do 10 neighbors around each of my clients. The question I have is, okay, that's $10. What if I do door hangers to those people when I'm mowing next time and it takes me 5 minutes to knock out their houses? Or I even pay my employees to do it. And I'd rather give them $5 instead of paying $10 to SendGym, right? So that's where my mind kind of goes. But again, if you're super busy, you want things automated, that's a great place to get started. Anything that you can automate in terms of that side of things is great. We have just not seen a great ROI from print in comparison to digital the past 12 months. Juan, if you want to do brick patios and need more experience, you aren't going to be on my channel. I am not the best by no means at brick patios. Let's see here. Have you ever seen adding overages into the contracts? I would have some sort of fine print in there about just making sure that, hey, if things are not included in this contract, there's gonna be an upcharge and it's gonna be based upon a dollar amount per hour, or it's going to be based upon an estimate per service or something like that, where they have to agree or approve of any added services, and that price would be in addition to this set contract. So for example, your contract has mowing, weeding, and bush trimming included, and then all of a sudden it snows. That's not included in the contract. It needs to be clear in the contract that the added services are going to be given an estimate on a per basis, a per service price, and they would have to accept that separately. Hey, Mike, last year I grossed $95,000, netted 68. I have about 50 weekly accounts with a minimum of $45 per cut. This year I'm going to have 2 employees, one in their own truck setup with a ramp rack. Great job, Emmanuel. Thought there was a question coming there. Tony Levford. Oh, thank you, brother. I appreciate you guys supporting that. And I know it is a premium product, so I don't blame whoever commented. That's definitely true. And one other employee calling with me all day. Is there anything you would recommend for me in my situation? Emmanuel, know that you're growing very quickly and know that your profit percentages last year that were like 65, 70%, that's not happening this year. Just get accustomed to it. Know that it's part of growth. Be okay with that, but make sure you track it and make sure you're charging appropriately to your customer. As you do grow, you're going to have more overhead. You have employees, you have shop space now, you have storage, you have more trucks, more insurance. You've got to keep in mind that your profit percentages are going to go down simply because of overhead. Guys, let's get Mike a like. Yes, get me a like. Come on. I deserve a like. It's Saturday and I'm here live. I stayed up till 2 a.m. making these graphics for you guys. Let's go. Emmanuel, also with my customer base and all the emails and info I have, should I send all my previous clients an a la carte for all services with the price I can provide on their property specifically? Yeah, I'm a big fan. If you're going to raise prices, literally just send people an email saying the date you're starting and then the prices for the upcoming year. Don't address it and then try to go in this long diatribe of why you're raising prices and why and all the things that you're benefiting. Don't do that. Just be like, hey, we're starting on this date for mowing. Here's the prices for your season this year. Weekly, bi-weekly. Here's maybe you have some other a la carte stuff you want to throw in there. If you're raising prices, just go for it. Assume the date of service and assume the prices are good. Put them on the schedule and you only hear from them if they have an issue with it. And yes, 1 or 2 people are going to call you after the first month of invoicing and be mad because you didn't tell them about the price increase. They simply didn't get the email. Okay? Mike, already at 100K in revenue this year after applying what we learned at Landscape Summit. Yearly revenue last year was $250,000. Jeffrey, I'd like to implement profit sharing for Q2. Is there a percent you'd recommend? Also, with 4 to 6 employees, is it okay to me implement at this time? Yes, as soon as you get 3 employees, in my opinion, you need to have profit sharing. The Mount Vernon location just hit 4, and they implemented a few weeks ago before they hit that. And so you want to have profit sharing. In terms of percentages, we talked about it very specifically, Jeff, at Landscape Summit a couple months ago at the conference. So definitely watch that one again. But in terms of just a short notes, 10 to 25% is going to be given to the employees based upon their role. So a general manager is probably going to get more. And then frontline employees are probably getting 10% and then just split up based upon how many people are out in the field. So if you have 20 employees, they're technically getting 0.5% of the profit, 10 divided by 20. If you have 2 people, they're getting 5% each. But then again, the profit's going to be lower because it's a smaller business. So it scales. All right. So, but definitely check. We did a couple hours of this at Landscape Summit. Watch that one again, Jeff, just to kind of refresh your mind on general managers versus employees, etc. All right. I'm debating on switching from bark mulch to bag mulch because I believe it would be easier and faster to install. We can stack bags in zero turn. The only downside is that's $45 a yard for bags and $27 for bulk. Thoughts on what I should do? I actually really like this idea. When you're small, if you're only doing like 1 or 2 a month, bagged is great. Now, if you're doing large installs, 20 yards, all of a sudden the $18 per yard difference really starts to add up, right? And as you begin to grow and get even bigger, you're going to simply get a bin at your shop space. You're going to have a space where you have the bark mulch there and you have a loader and all the rest. But that's down the road. So when you're first getting started, I like this idea. Keep in mind, inventory kills cash flow. Having 100 bags of bark mulch, that's $2,700 that you've got to store. And inventory kills cash flow. It costs money to store things. The space to store it, okay? That alone costs money. If you're paying $1,000 for shop space and you take a quarter of it up in storing these bags, you better make sure you know that that's costing you $250 a month. So there's pros and cons. As you grow bigger, I would lean more and more to actually having using it in bulk because you're having more jobs. You're doing 20 of those in a month, not doing 1 or 2. That's when you want to save the $18 per yard. But when you're first getting started, bags are great, really efficient. I like it. I just sent all my existing clients handwritten thank you cards with a little flyer with a referral deal. Are there any other things you recommend me doing to get more, retain more customers? We talk about that a lot. In terms of referrals, I really like the idea of sending an email and asking them to forward this email to their friends, possibly. But at the end of the day, a lot of times your best referrals are literally neighbors talking to each other. So I would double down in areas. Did someone just give me $5? Let's go. Tony, bless your heart. I didn't even know your last name. You gave me $5. Okay, I'm going to do a couple more of the, let's see here. Do you have websites for hardscapers? There's lots of training out there. Stan Genedic is really great. There's podcasts like How to Hardscaping, really great. I'm not the best guy for hardscaping. I'll answer your business questions though. Vancouver Island just blew up overnight. The phones ring. Yes, it is sunny outside right now in the Pacific Northwest, which is crazy. And so, yes, the phones are ringing. It literally snowed a couple weeks ago. Hey, Mike, what's your best advice for lawn care business just starting off to get clients as a female business owner? All right, Natasha, I love when the females get involved in this industry. They kill it with the HR and the people side. Okay, so this would be my recommendation. Double down on your USP. Your USP stands for unique selling proposition. Well, we're going to hit 100 people live here. Let's go. Okay, so Natasha, I would double down on your USP. Your USP is your unique selling proposition. Your unique selling proposition is that you are a female. Double down on it. Be in the videos. Make it an avatar that's on your website of you in your uniform. Like make a little digital art. Like that's fine. Like don't do what this is, which I'm going to show you. Like this right now is just a picture of me, which I can't now. You can't see because that's horrible. Okay. Here, don't do this where you see me like your person, your face. You don't really need to do that, but create like an avatar, like a digital art. And now I got to go back to my comments so people can see, but my banner is still up. Give me 1 second, everyone. Just bear with me. I'm still learning this stuff. I'm still learning. What I would do, Natasha, is double down on it. Create that avatar. Make sure it's in all of your social media. You're the video, the ads. We're at 96 people. Let's go. We got to get to 100. No one log off. There's a freeze. There's a moratorium on going off the live stream. We're at 96 people. Okay, next question. Do you do websites for hardscapers? Yes, we do. Lawn Care Web Design does do it for for hardscapers. Absolutely. We just basically have you fill out services pages, and we can create different pages for like patios, walls, etc. Emmanuel, how do you find your exact overhead price, and how do you break it down or divide it to break it down monthly to make sure I'm having enough to pay an employee and make profit for the company? Okay, first and foremost, LMN, great option for free budgeting software. Go in there, create a free account. You can do a lot of budgeting and figure out things like percentage of overhead, etc. It's free, 100% free. I'm not endorsing their CRM as much as this is their budgeting product for especially lawn care and recurring services. Now, that being said, the biggest thing, if you don't even want to get involved with that and that seems daunting, the biggest thing you need to control is the biggest variable cost in your business, and that is labor. That's why we talk about pay for performance. Oh, I have a banner for that. I have a banner for that. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, there it is. So pay for performance is super big. Watch the other stuff that I do. But at the end of the day, pay for performance is going to allow you to make a consistent and level profit margin, much more so because you know exactly what the percentage of your revenue is going to the labor side of things. You've got to get the revenue that goes up and down, or like costs that go up and down, as level as possible. The same way that you pay insurance the same every single month and you can depend on it, you can budget using those numbers. You want to do the same thing for your labor, and pay for performance is important to do that. Okay, next question. Don't worry about being a female. Yes. Cut. Can Lawn Care Web Design make services like security and janitorial? James, not yet. We're not set up for that yet. We don't specialize in it. I'm not the best at SEO around those things. And so our team, we're not really doing that. And the green industry is what we feel very confident in. Emmanuel, should I use Yardbook and send invoices with the tip option? Yes, do that. It backs up to QuickBooks also. What are your thoughts on that? I'm not a huge fan of QuickBooks integrations with CRMs right now because when QuickBooks changes things, the CRMs are playing catch up. And a lot of times you're going to get double entries, double payments, double customers, things, weird stuff happens. And so we keep QuickBooks and our CRM separate. But in terms of the tip option, yes, use the tip option. How do you get in touch with commercial accounts in the city for mowing mowing, bidding. I wouldn't get in contact with the city if I was you, personally, unless you're in a small town and they have limited options in terms of big players. In terms of commercial accounts, you need to cozy up with your property managers in your local area. All right, Zachary, what platform are you using so your estimator can share their videos with the crews that are performing the work? Are you using YouTube and making the videos private and then labeling them by address? No, we don't use YouTube because it takes too long to upload videos. I would highly recommend WhatsApp. It will take about 10% the time that it takes to upload to YouTube. It compresses the file, but it's still very clear enough for the crew on the day of the job. Create yourself a group in WhatsApp and just name it estimates. And literally, if you're the only person in the group, you just send videos after doing a job to that WhatsApp group and then name it the customer's last name, so that when the day of service, when the client is on the job, on the schedule, you'll just search their name and then send that video, forward it to your employees. All right, we're still at 94 people on the stream. We should hit the like button, folks. We're going in for the home stretch, a few more minutes here. How late in the spring should I continue to do door hangers for grass mowing? You should be doing door hangers and door knocking while you have time. And then what's going to happen is demand picks up and you get super, super busy. You're not going to have time. You're going to be out working, making money, doing estimates. So what you should be doing then at that time is scale back on door hangers and then pick up on the social media advertising, the stuff that you don't need to spend time and you spend money instead. Because if I can go make $300 in a day, and but then not go do door hangers, why wouldn't I want to spend $50 of that $300 extra that I made on ads on Facebook and all the other platforms that I can, Nextdoor and Instagram and YouTube and all these other places? Why would I not want to do that when I don't have time? Okay, so when you have time, focus on those things that you can do hand-to-hand combat with. When you don't have time, that's when you double down on and you up your advertising budget on other marketing methods. Okay, let's see here, 1 second. Tony, thank you for the money. I need to answer your question. Hey, Mike, is there any email address that I can reach you at? Yeah, in the comments, there's a landscapebusinesscourse@gmail.com. But hey, I do not answer those emails very good. I'm going to be perfectly honest. The franchisees get first dibs on my inbox, and it takes me a while. But my inbox is down there, and I do usually get back to you 99% of the time. How many employees should I hire, 1 or 2 as a startup? Natasha, it depends on what you expect to spend on marketing. If you're just getting started, but you have $10,000, $15,000 in marketing set aside for the spring rush, definitely you should be thinking about hiring somebody. You have the money to go deploy and bring in leads. If you don't have that money, you're going to be probably slower growth, and you might want to take your time when it comes to hiring. Mike, in your experience, at what point should one build a shop, design, build, maintenance company? Currently running out of a storage unit, and it works, but it's hard. This is tough. So this is why we have Command Center for the franchisees. Oh, great segue. No, I'm not going to put the banner up. This is why we have the Command Center for the franchisees. Building a shop with an office, very expensive. Internet, utilities, you have the whole building process. Like right now I'm going through, it's a pain in the neck. It's an absolute pain. If you can get around that and have where you just have shop space, like storage facility, in terms of like even just graveled area at someone's property, and you have like a mobile storage container or even like a mobile office, I'd recommend that like way before you actually start building like a building and bidding land. Like I'd be looking at millions in revenue before I would recommend doing that for someone. Honestly, it's a massive overhead and distraction from your core business. Please tell us about your website building service and how it compares to other similar services. Facebook user. This must be coming from the group. Yeah, so we charge $3.99 per month. Check it out on lawncarewebdesign.com. I make a whole video about it right on the homepage. Watch that. In terms of being similar to other services, there are cheaper services out there. Yes. Do I feel like we provide great value for the $3.99? Yes, because we do SEO, unlimited changes. We're good. We're good. I'm really confident in what we do. And I'd say 98% of the people that use our service like it. We have nobody has canceled Lawn Care Web Design, to be perfectly honest. Even though we make that process really simple, there's been no one canceled besides one person that closed their company altogether. Drop the likes, guys. Come on, basically, bros. Let's go. Drop those likes. It's Saturday. Here I'm live on this. We've been here for 40 minutes. And I stayed up, like I said, till 2 a.m. to make these graphics for you all and do all this stuff. And I'm paying for this software. Drop the likes. Trying to get out of the field this year, but have a self-employed. Any help in how to overcome this flaw? Junior, watch the video I made yesterday about being an octopus. Very important if you're trying to do that. Well, it's gonna say like growing your business, and it has like a bottleneck thumbnail, but that's what it's about: octopuses and rabbits. Very important. Create gray areas when pricing. Throw a curveball. Just got 5 bids on this. Okay, I can't really read this. Sorry. All right, I'm going to do a couple more questions and I'm out of here. As a disabled veteran, should I focus? Thank you for your service. As a disabled veteran, should I focus on that form from a marketing standpoint or only when I'm using veteran-owned business listings? Ken, it's really up to you. This is a tough one because a lot of people, they feel, same thing with age though. People are like, oh, I don't know if I want to share that. Like that is your USP, right? I would at least put a banner that says veteran-owned business in your marketing, on your website. Like we have one of our lawn care web design guys I really pushed this past quarter. When we looked at his website, we said, hey, look, like you really need to have a banner that says that. And he did. And he just said like that was a game changer. Like people stayed on the website longer from an analytics standpoint. He got much better social media presence. So I just double down on your unique selling proposition, whatever that is. I don't care if you're an immigrant. I don't care if it's your age. I don't care if it's, your gender. I don't care what it is. You've got to focus on that. Okay. Thank you guys. I see all these questions coming in. Hey, Mike, do you do snow removal service during winter or do you lay off crew? We do snow. It's not as big here. So we keep most of our crew with winter services. Where are you currently at? Looks like the new, oh no, sir, this is a green screen, guys. Come on, I'm trying to upgrade the creative abilities here on the channel. This is a green screen. Come on now. I wouldn't have this much open space at my shop anyways. My goodness, that's a waste. I would have office people here making money. Come on now. I'm muted. I'm not muted. I don't think I'm muted. Where is the like button? Yeah, hit it, Jerome. Find it. Let's go. When moving into a new service area, would you pay a slight premium to buy clients from another company to cut down on travel time between clients initially? I don't mind this idea if you have the money for it. You need to search on YouTube, acquisitions, valuations, Mike Andes. I make like an hour and a half long video about this very topic, about valuating when you should buy, all the rest of it. What do you recommend for CRM for a 90 to, I was thinking Jobber. I'm using QuickBooks only. Yep, Jobber, Yardbook, Lawn Pro, all great options at that size. If you're really trying to scale and grow and you're looking for automations and things like that, maybe Real Green, LMN, Service Autopilot. Hey, Mike, how do you feel about including a big offer such as an iPad raffle or door hangers, on door hangers and other marketing media? Something like sign up for recurring service and enter to win a, I don't know. I just think it's overused. People have seen this so much, right? I've said this before. When it comes to referrals, people do not do referrals for any giveaways or freebies. They do it because it gives them a good feeling and makes them elevates their social status in their network. So if they tell their neighbor that they should use you as a lawn care professional, it's not because they want them to get a good professional and they care about their neighbor. They're giving them that referral because it elevates their social status and validates their decision to choose you as their lawn care provider. So you've got to really just think about that and not like people do not share your name and things for the chance to win something. And that's just been overused in my opinion over the past 10 to 20 years. All right. What type of work? What work do your court do? We do mostly recurring maintenance, especially during the winter. White Pine Landscaping, we focus on winter services like we talked about at the conference. We do a little bit of snow plowing, but it is very, very negligible. Can you make a video on how to be professional? That's a good. Actually, there was a good keynote on this at the conference from our operations manager, Liz. She talked about presenting like a professional. Definitely check that out. How many franchises do you want to add in 2021? I want to add you. That's what I want to do. If you're the right fit for the culture. But yeah, in terms of how many, right now we're at 38 locations. I'd like to get to 80. I know it's a bit of a stretch goal, but I think we can do it. And that's why we're doubling down and really investing in creating the content and all the rest. I'm trying to make things look nicer. I'm spending my time on Friday nights till 2 a.m. making things for you guys, making green screens. I'm trying to get better. Who do you recommend for payrolls? Gusto, gusto.com/bootcamp. Get a 90-day free trial there, or QuickBooks if you're already integrated with them. They do good as well. Hey, Mike, great video. Where's the link for P4P? It's on landscapebusinesscourse.com. This guy right here. Go there. Sign in. There's a new module. I know for some people, they signed up 3 years ago and they haven't gone back on Landscape Business Course. So new module, P4P. Click on it. There's training videos on P4P, how to present it to your team, the software needed to calculate, the Excel documents needed to keep track of everything, it's all on there. So it's new modules. So I'm guessing STIR 355 that you're a course member from way back when. There's a new module. Last fall added it. Oh, winter added it. It's all there. Check it out. And the code and everything for P4Psystem.com is on there. What's more beneficial for a Facebook page? Total likes or likes in the zip code you service? Likes, actually, in my opinion, have absolutely no bearing whatsoever. You can buy likes. What's going to be more important is making content that is actually engaging so that Facebook in the algorithm actually pushes your content onto people's pages. Remember, there's 1,000 people that they have as friends and they like different pages and different groups and all the rest of it. Facebook has to make the decision in terms of what is going at the top of their page when they're going to their news feed. You only get there if you have engaging content. So you want to make engaging content, not trying to get a bunch of likes and things. However, if your organic reach is liking your comment and liking and commenting and sharing your posts, that is engaging. Facebook sees that and they will put you at the top of the newsfeed. Seth, to be perfectly honest, I have not tested this. I'm not going to give an opinion on this. In my opinion, when it comes to door hangers, probably midday, so when they come back from work, but I don't have any data on this one. Will today's viewers get a special offer for your landscape business course? Yes. They will. It's $519. It's never changed. There's never been discounts. Just go to landscapebusinesscourse.com and the value there is a discount today. I really believe that. I do. P4P is really good. Location 39 in Utah. Let's go. Let's go. How many franchises you need to be profitable? I know you said you're at a loss. Yeah, this year we will be consistently up and down advanced profitability and probably level. And I think once we get about 50 to 60, it'll become more consistently profitable. There's a difference between profitable, of course, a year and then consistently profitable, right? So we will be profitable this whole year over the course of 2021, but we will not be consistently profitable. We lost 25,000 last month. 2 months ago, or the month before that, we were up 25,000. The month before that, we were down 100 grand. That's not good, right? In terms of consistently profitable. When you get consistently profitable, you can take bigger risks on investments like into software, hiring more support, things like that. Someone just gave me $10. Xavier, I love you. You'll get 100 franchisees soon, no doubt. I believe it, brother. We're getting to 500. Let's go. I waited all time to get my question answered. What? Billy, I skipped your question? There's too many coming in. Sorry. Let me scroll up. Okay, Billy, I can't scroll up. There's too many. Put the question again. I promise you, I won't skip you. Billy, I promise. And then I'm gonna hit Billy's question and I'm gonna bounce. Have you considered offering a paid service that shares very specifically what is working with marketing, how to do it? That's the franchise, honestly. Right? Like I try to share annually at the conference what's new, what we've been testing, but kind of like cutting edge week by week stuff that's changing. Honestly, that's the franchisees, right? Like I try to share as much as I can for all of you guys for free and everything, but I got to keep something of value for the franchisees. Billy, ask it again. I don't see questions. Yeah. I guessed it. You was in a green screen. Thanks, Mom. My mom always doubts my ability to create great sets. Goodness. Thank you, Xavier. I appreciate it. How do you do contracts for residential or just commercial? Mostly just commercial, unless it's a very large residential full service customer. We will potentially do a contract for them, but we don't really like to. Billy, get your question here before I head out. Recommended CRM for 6-figure, low 7-figure design, build, and hard. I would say LMN if you're doing design, build, hardscaping. Based upon my experience, that's probably the best software for projects and big hardscaping type work. Less for recurring mowing, fertilization. I haven't seen. Natasha gave me $10. Natasha, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And you didn't even ask a question. You just gave me money. Like if you ask a question, I'll answer you for $10. I guess I answered one before, but goodness. Did you buy your new car yet? I was going to buy a new car? I don't think so. No. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. My annual goal, one of them was to buy a car for myself. Yeah, that's kind of been put on the back burner. I got a lot of stuff I'm spending money on right now. We're building software for the franchisees. We're building the headquarters for Augusta. We're building Reset. I have a big tax bill coming up from 2020. What else is? Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that I'm paying for right now. So buying a car is low on the priority. But I love my little Honda 2010 Accord. It works great. And if I bought another car, it'd just be a Honda Accord, honestly. But yeah. What's your thoughts on dump trailers? Oh, Natasha. Oh, cool. Thank you. You're welcome. And thank you for $10. What's your thoughts on dump trailers being running or on open trailers for 5 years? It is a real game changer. Makes sense. Yeah, dump trailers are awesome. I love dump trailers, especially for your cleanups. So, okay, Billy, I'm waiting for your question, but in the meantime, we're waiting for likes. I skipped your question too, Kylie. I'm not seeing your question. Oh, here it is. Mike, sorry, I do have a lot of questions coming in, so I apologize. I'm very sorry if I missed your question. I'm very sorry. You're just going to have to hop on live faster. Or give me $10, then I really see it. Mike, we do specialty hardscapes and lawn care, but it's getting hard to keep up with both. We make most profit from hardscape projects, but lawn care keeps us going during slow times. And tips. Okay, yes, I would highly recommend you focus on recurring services and then allow the projects to come in natively from your existing customers, from your marketing. People are going to ask, sorry, I thought someone gave me money. We always recommend marketing for recurring services and allowing that brand awareness on your website, on the marketing that says you do other services to bring in those native leads for hardscaping and projects. So that's kind of what we do. I like that recurring revenue. I like to be able to build slowly. I don't like being dumped with projects and booking out 8 months. I'd much rather be booked out 3 to 4 weeks with projects, but have a very steady recurring, like where I have like 10 employees working on recurring services, 5 or 6 working on projects. And if I need some more on projects, I can just take a couple from the mowing guys and then they just work a little bit longer. So like, I like that a lot. I answered these. What's your thoughts on dump trailers? We talked about this. Okay, folks, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Have an amazing weekend. It's a Saturday, but make sure we do the 5 things that we talked about. If you just knew, I'm going to rattle these off real quick. Number 1, you need to create a plan for your physical health and mental health as we go into the spring season. Number 2, you need to get ready to raise your prices. Get the letter ready. There's one inside of landscapebusinesscourse.com. There is a letter that we have used many, many times. Just for you, let me go ahead and pull this up. Boom, boom, boom. There is a inside Landscape Business Course. There's a link. There's no excuses now. People always ask me how to spell this. Like, I don't know how hard it is. Landscapebusinesscourse.com. There is a letter in there, a price increase letter that we use literally every single year, and it has worked great. 98% of our customers stick with us after the price increase. Use that letter. Get it ready, though, now. Who are you going to raise? What's their prices going to be? That's number 2. Number 3, hire early. If you find good people right now, you're going to hire them. You're going to offer them a start date 3, 4, 5 weeks from now when you know the spring rush is going to be around. This is going to be the hardest year in the history of lawn care and landscaping to find good laborers because this new stimulus package with the $300 per week in unemployment boost, literally people are going to make $400 or $500 sitting at home doing nothing per week. You're competing against that this year. You're competing against the government. It's going to be harder than ever. You need to have P4P in place more than ever before. You need to have a great culture more than ever before. You need to have profit sharing more than ever before. And that's just my opinion. Number 4, you've got to do this before the spring rush. You got to finish your website. You've got to design it. You got to go to lawncarewebdesign.com, get it done. If you're a little bit bigger and you can afford it, do it as a premium product. Otherwise, go start your own. Get that stuff done. Get your website. Get your social media. Get your Facebook page set up. Get all of that ready to roll. Make sure you know how to run Facebook ads. Make sure you know how to send out emails to all your customers. Number 5, last thing, do those little improvements. Organize your shop, buy more blades, get more weed eater line, whatever you got to focus on before this year coming up. Make sure you do it now because you're not going to have time in the middle of the spring rush to be able to do this stuff. Okay? So, all right. Thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate it. Have an amazing weekend and make sure, let's see here. Let's go with this one. Yes. Make sure you guys follow me on these other platforms. There's on Facebook, by the way, Landscape Business Course, the Facebook group. It's free. Join. It's really fun. On here and here and here, those 3 middle ones, I'm going to get much better content in the next month. We're hiring 2 more people, and I appreciate all of your support. People buying the course, lawncarewebdesign.com, even MBA for entrepreneurs, everyone that has been buying this money goes directly into the content. I'm trying to get this, save up for this right now. We're getting 2 more people from media to be able to get more content for all of you. And that's why I'm the software and all the rest of it that we're doing. I appreciate all of you supporting me. Thanks so much. Have a great day.